Shalom, my friends. Chapter 63. In those days the mighty and the sovereigns who possess the earth shall beg to grant them a little relief from his messengers of punishment, to whom they were delivered, that they might fall down and worship before Yahweh of hosts, and confess their sins before him. And they shall barach and esteem Yahweh of hosts, and say, Baruch is Yahweh of hosts, and Yahweh of sovereigns, and Yahweh of the mighty, and Yahweh of greatness, and Yahweh of esteem, and Yahweh of wisdom. And splendid in every secret matter is your power from generation to generation, and your esteem forever and ever. Deep are all your secrets and innumerable, and your righteousness is beyond reckoning. We have now learned that we should esteem and barach Yahweh of sovereigns, and him who is sovereign over all sovereigns. And they shall say, Oh, that we had rest to esteem and give thanks and confess our belief before his esteem. And now we long for a little rest, but do not find it. We follow hard upon and do not obtain, and light has vanished from before us, and darkness is our dwelling place forever and ever. And again, I remind you, consider, you're not in a dark room, you know. It's not like the lights have been turned off. The light of understanding, the light of wisdom, the light of knowledge is gone from them. And the lack of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is where they dwell forever. It's, you pay attention and you can see very clearly that those who do not have a rich relationship with Elohim, they do not understand things. They have no understanding. They certainly have no wisdom. Verse 7, For we have not believed before him, nor esteemed the name of Yahweh of hosts, but our hope was in the scepter of our reign and in our esteem. Forgive me, but you know, it's just over and over again. His name is not esteemed. Or they're recognizing at this point, gee whiz, we didn't esteem his name. How many people don't even know his name? Yahweh, or Yahweh, at least. And how many people know that his name is Yahweh, as they would say, because of the tetragrammaton, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, you know, many people know, certainly Bible students and certainly Bible scholars, they know about the name Yahweh, or at least about what's called the tetragrammaton, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, and that is his name. And yet they refuse to use it. And most of them, if not, you know, the Lord, it's Jehovah. They refuse. Even though they know, they refuse to give his name esteem. Why? Verse 7 again, For we have not believed before him, nor esteemed the name of Yahweh of hosts, but our hope was in the scepter of our reign, and in our esteem. And in the day of our suffering and tribulation, he does not save us, and we find no relief for confession that our Adon is true in all his works, and in his right rulings, and his justice and his right rulings have no respect of persons. And we pass away from before his face on account of our works, and all our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. We're not saved by works, we're saved by faith. But there are people, many of them, who they point at their works. Look, I'm a great man of God. Look what I've done. And, here they pass away from before his face on account of their works. That's what they put their faith in, instead of his redeeming grace. Verse 10, now they shall say unto themselves, our beings are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Gehinnom. And after that their faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before the bane of Adam, and they shall be driven from his presence. And the sword shall abide before his face in their midst. Thus spoke Yahweh of hosts. This is the statute and judgment with respect to the mighty and the sovereigns and the exalted and those who possess the earth before Yahweh of hosts. Chapter 64, and other forms I saw hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the messenger saying, these are the messengers who descended to the earth, and revealed what was hidden to the children of men, and seduced the children of men into committing sin. The Nephilim, the watchers. Chapter 65, and in those days Noach saw the earth that it had sunk down, and its destruction was near. And he arose from there and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Hanok and Noah. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, if perhaps I shall perish with it. And after that there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from the Shamayim, and I fell on my face. And Hanoch, my grandfather, came and stood by me, and said unto me, why have you cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a command has gone forth from the presence of Yahweh concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished because they have learned all the secrets of the messengers, and all the violence of the adversaries, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth. And how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them. A messenger stands therein, and that messenger is the head. And after that my grandfather Hanoch took hold of me by my hand, and raised me up, and said unto me, go, for I have asked Yahweh of hosts regarding this commotion on the earth. And he said unto me, because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever, because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learned. The earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And I would interject that sorceries also points at the pharmaceutical industry, because the word in the book of Revelation that's often interpreted as sorcery in the original Greek is pharmakeia. Verse 11, and these, they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are the condemned. But as for you, my son, Yahweh of hosts knows that you are pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. You know, that other publication of the Book of Enoch that I showed you in the introduction to this series, right on the cover is promoting, ooh, the secrets. Learn the secrets. I guess they didn't read the book, or they didn't have an understandable copy like this one, where it plainly says, knowing those secrets is what condemns them to Gehinnom. Verse 12, and he has destined your name to be among the Kodesh, and will preserve you amongst those who dwell on the earth, and has destined your righteous seed, both for sovereignty and for great honors. And from your seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous and Kodesh without number forever. Chapter 66. And after that he showed me the messengers of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who dwell on the earth. And Yahweh of hosts gave command to the messengers who were going forth, that they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check, for those messengers were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Hanok. Those angels were over the powers of the waters. They were commanded that they should not cause the waters to rise. I mean, doesn't that say that when there are floods in certain areas, there are messengers that are the powers over those waters, and judgment is being passed? It's not just a fluke accident of nature. Chapter 67. And in those days the word of Elohim came unto me, and he said unto me, Noach, your lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the messengers are making a wooden object, and when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it, and there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall come, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will establish your seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with you. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be baruk, and multiply on the earth in the name of Yahweh. And he will imprison those messengers who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Hanok had formerly shown to me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great earthquake and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal and from the earthquake in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters, and that valley of the messengers who had led astray burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these messengers are punished who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the sovereigns and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body, for they have denied Yahweh of hosts, and see their punishment daily, and yet do not believe in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before Yahweh of hosts none shall utter an idle word. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Ruach of Yahweh. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days, for when those messengers are punished in these waters springs shall change their temperature, and when the messengers ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, this judgment with which the messengers are judged is a witness for the sovereigns and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the sovereigns and the lust of their body. Therefore, they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Chapter 68. And after that, my grandfather Hanok gave me the teaching of all the secrets in the book, in the parables which had been given to him, and he put them together for me in the words of the book of the parables. And on that day, Michael answered Raphael and said, the power of the Spirit transports and makes me tremble because of the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the messengers. Who can endure the severe judgment which has been executed and before which they melt away? And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it, and whose kidneys are not troubled by this word of judgment gone forth upon them because of those who have thus led them out? And it came to be, when he stood before Yahweh of hosts, Michael said thus to Raphael, I will not take their part under the eye of Yahweh, for Yahweh of hosts has been angry with them, because they do as if they were Yahweh. Therefore, all that is hidden shall come upon them forever and ever. For neither messenger nor man shall have his portion, but alone they have received their judgment forever and ever. Chapter 69. I wanted to get here. In fact, I think we'll do 69 and I don't know, see if we can finish. But I wanted to get to chapter 69 because Satan's name is revealed here. I thought his name was taken away from him, and you may have heard me say that in other videos. Satan's not a name. It's a descriptive title. It means adversary, or would be like prosecuting attorney. Lucifer is not his name. That's some stupid error that comes from one of the English translations of Yahweh's anointed language, Hebrew. I thought no one knew his name. And maybe for the most part no one does. But it is about to be revealed. Chapter 69. And after this judgment they shall terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And see the names of those messengers, and these are their names. The first of them is Shemyatsa. The second, Artakifa. And the third, Ahmein. The fourth, Kochavel. The fifth, Torael. The sixth, Rumyael. The seventh, Daniel. The eighth, Nekael. The 9th, Barachiel. The 10th, Azazel. The 11th, Armaros. The 12th, Bataryaal. The 13th, Busasyaal. The 14th, Hananel. The 15th, Turel. And the 16th, Sima Pesiel. The 17th, Yetrael. The 18th, Tumael. The 19th, Tsoriel. The 20th, Ramael. The 21st, Azazel. And these are the chiefs of their messengers, and their names, and their chief ones over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s. You see the divisions. Yahweh's Malchut, kingdom. His Malchut is a Malchut of hierarchy. We have we have messengers who are in charge over hundreds, and others who are in charge over 50s, and others who are in charge over 10s. Verse 4, the name of the first, Yekon, that is, the one who led astray the sons of Elohim, and brought them down to the earth, and led them astray through the daughters of men. So here's this one named Yekon. He led other Malachim out of the Shamayim down to the earth and convinced them or led them astray by tempting them with the daughters of men. Look at these. The second was named Asve'el. He imparted to the Kodesh sons of Elohim evil counsel. These are the dedicated sons of Elohim that were given evil counsel and led them astray so that they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. Their bodies. You know, sons of Elohim, Malachim. These aren't spirits, they have bodies. How did they mate with women? We saw in other passages where they can appear as men. And here we see they have bodies. Everything doesn't have to make sense to our three-dimensional ways of thinking in order for them to be true. This is what's wrong with, the Science Channel. They talk about the universe and they say, oh, now we know there's 9 dimensions. I've heard them say as many as 11 and 13, but most recently now they're saying 9 dimensions. And they're, we know this, we know that, 200 million gazillion years ago this happened, we know this. You there with a camera, I always say. And they're defining this thing that they admit is at least 9 dimensions. And they're defining it and talking boastfully about their knowledge of it, defining it with the 3-dimensional descriptions. They don't realize that they're defining what they think is 9 dimensions with 3-dimensional languages or descriptions. Hello? Is anybody with me on that one? 9 dimensions. I'm sure there's many more than that. Anyway, I digress. Forgive me, I get off on that one. Verse 6, the third, here we go. Here's Satan's name. Chapter 69, verse 6. The third was named Gadre'el. Gadre'el. God? Nickname, right? The third was named Gadre'el. It is he who showed the children of men all the smitings of death, Cain. And he led astray Chava. More accurately, Chawa. That's Eve, Chava. And showed the shield and the coat of mail and the sword for battle and all the weapons of death to the children of men. At any rate, we know who led astray Chava, Eve in the garden. The serpent, the Nachash, the shining one, who we always think of as Satan. Gadre'el is his name. Never knew that until Elohim Baruch, the Hallelujah Scriptures team. Verse 7. And from his hand they have proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from that day and for eternity. And the fourth was named Penamuel. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. And he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from everlasting to everlasting until this day. You know, thousands of years ago, wise teachers would never allow their students to take notes. If you can't remember this, forget it. Notes ain't going to help. And here we see, you know, writing with ink and paper. It's a wicked thing, isn't it? Verse 10, for men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good belief with pen and ink. Boy, that just kicks a whole bunch of evangelists right in the butt with their books that they write, with their pictures on the cover. Oh, look, me, I, me, mine. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good belief with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the messengers, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous, and death, which destroys all matters, could not have taken hold of them, but through this, their knowledge, they are perishing, and through this power it is consuming me. And the fifth was named Kasdeya, or Kasdeya. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smiting of the embryo in the womb. Woe! Abortions. Abortions. There is a Nephilim in charge of promoting abortions. His name is Kasdeya, who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smiting of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away, and the bites of the serpent, and the smiting which befalls through the noontide heat, the son of the serpent named Tavaet. And this is the task of Kasbeel, the chief of the oath which he showed to the Kodeshim when he dwelt high above in esteem, and its name is Bicha. This one requested Michael to show him the hidden name, that he might pronounce it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath. This one requested Michael to show him the hidden name, that he might pronounce it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath, who revealed all that was in secret to the children of men. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong, and he placed this oath, Achael, in the hand of Michael. The power of life and death is in the tongue. And this is being illustrated. Verse 16, and these are the secrets of this oath, and they are strong through his oath. And the Shamayim was suspended before the world was created, and forever. And through it the earth was founded upon the water. And from the secret recesses of the mountains come pleasant waters from the creation of the world and unto forever. And through that oath the sea was created, and as its foundation he appointed for it the sand against the time of anger, and it dare not pass beyond it from the creation of the world unto forever. And through that oath are the depths made firm, and endure, and do not move from their place, from everlasting to everlasting. And through that oath the sun and moon complete their course, and deviate not from their ordinance, from everlasting to everlasting. And through that oath the stars complete their course, and he calls them by their names, and they answer him from everlasting to everlasting. And in the same way the spirits of the water, and of the winds, and of the breezes, and their paths from all the quarters of the winds. And there are preserved the voices of the thunder, and there are preserved the voices of the thunder, and the light of the lightnings, and there are preserved the chambers of the hail, and the chambers of the hoarfrost, and the chambers of the mist, and the chambers of the rain and the dew. And all these believe and give thanks before Yahweh of hosts, and esteem him with all their power, and their food is in every act of thanksgiving. They thank and esteem and exalt the name of Yahweh of hosts forever and ever. And this oath is mighty over them, and through it they are preserved, and their paths are preserved, and their course is not destroyed. And there was great joy amongst them, and they barach, and they esteemed and exalted, because the name of the bane of Adam had been revealed unto them. And he sat on the throne of his esteem, and the sum of judgment was given unto the bane of Adam. And he caused the sinners to pass away, and be destroyed from off the face of the earth, and those who have led the world astray. With chains shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all their works vanish from the face of the earth. And from here on there shall be none corruptible, for the bane of Adam has appeared, and has seated himself on the throne of his esteem. And all evil shall pass away before his face, and the word of the bane of Adam shall go forth and be strong before Yahweh of hosts. This is the third parable of Hanok. See chapter 58 and 59. my note. You see, I was talking before where there are times where it's referring to the great flood of Noah's day. And there are times where it's talking about the Great Tribulation and the second coming of Yeshua, the bane of Adam, which we just read. Let's blaze through to the end. We've got 2 more chapters. The first one is very short. And it came to be, chapter 70, and it came to be after this, that his name during his lifetime was raised above to the bane of Adam. This is referring to Hanok. It came to be after this that his name, Hanok, during his lifetime was raised above to the bane of Adam and to Yahweh of hosts from amongst those who dwell on the earth. You know, when you take the time to order your copy of Hanok from HallelujahScriptures.com, and when you open your heart and your pocketbook to help them do these things, you will also get 2 other books. Name Meanings. Lists all the names and their meanings. And also, the Book of Yashar. Most people would say Jasher. This was also in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's anointed, no question about it. It's I've been reading it. I haven't gotten but maybe 1/5 of the way into it. But it's I started reading it and I was like, well, this is Genesis all over again. But with a lot of information that's not in Genesis. A lot that is and a lot that isn't. For example, there's a whole bunch more information about Hanok in the Book of Yashar. Check it out and you'll see why it says right here what we just read, that Hanok's name during his lifetime was raised above to the bane of Adam and to Yahweh of hosts from amongst those who dwell on the earth. You'll see it in Yashar. Hanok is quite a guy. I'm so happy to learn more about him. Verse 2, and he was raised above on the chariots of the Spirit, and his name vanished among them. He was raptured, man. Oh, that word isn't in the book. Sorry, shut up. He was netchatef. He was kidnapped, snatched up, harpazo. He was taken before the great flood. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Verse 3, and from that day I was no longer numbered amongst them. And he placed me between the 2 winds, between the north and the west, where the messenger took the cords to measure for me the place for the elect and righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous, who from the beginning dwell in that place. Chapter 71, last chapter of the, not just the Book of Noach, from the fragment of the Book of Noach. Chapter 71. And it came to be after this that my spirit was translated and it ascended into the Shamayim. And I saw the Kodesh sons of Elohim. They were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their faces shone like snow. Amazing. And I saw 2 streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like jacinth. And I fell on my face before Yahweh of hosts. And the messenger, Michael, seized me by my right hand and lifted me up and led me forth into all the secrets, and he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the Shamayim, and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the lights, where they proceed before the face of the Kodeshim. And he translated my spirit into the Shamayim of Shamayim, and I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystals, tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle, which surrounded that house of fire, and on its 4 sides were streams full of living fire, and they surrounded that house. And round about were seraphim, cheruvim, and ophanim, and these are they who do not sleep, but guard the throne of his esteem. And I saw messengers who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael, and Raphael, and Gadre'el, and Phanuel, and the Kodesh messengers who are above the Shamayim, go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house, and Michael, and Gadre'el, Raphael, and Phanuel, and many Kodesh messengers without number. And with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his garments indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and barach, and esteemed, and exalted. And these baruchot, which went forth out of my mouth, were well-pleasing before that head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Gadre'el, Raphael and Phanuel, thousands and 10,000s of messengers without number. And he came to me and greeted me with his voice, and said unto me, This is the bane of Adam, who is born unto righteousness, and righteousness abides over him, and the righteousness of the head of days does not forsake him. And he said unto me, He proclaims unto you peace in the name of the world to come. For from here has proceeded peace since the creation of the world, and so shall it be unto you forever and forever and ever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsakes him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with him their heritage, and they shall not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so there shall be length of days with the bane of Adam, and the righteous shall have peace and an upright way in the name of Yahweh of hosts forever and ever. Man, if you aren't like jumping up and down in your seat, lit on fire with what we just heard, I don't know what to say. Next time we will pick up with chapter 72, titled Astronomy. Boy, we're not even halfway through. Oh, yes, we are. Yeah, we're about halfway through the Book of Enoch. It's going to be a lot more videos than I thought originally. Anyway, enjoy that one. If I was you, I think I would just like hit the replay button and go through this one again. That last part of the Book of Noach. It's pretty exciting. Shalom.